Right, if you are not up to date. You are not up to date.
Okay. Who's calling?
Good morning, class. Hello, good morning, students. Are we together at all? Good morning once again.
Good morning, sir.
Yesterday, we one house, please. We started the topic yesterday. Who can remind me the topic we treated yesterday? Yes. Abdul Latif. Human rights. Thank you very much. Clap for him. Thank you. Human rights. Who can define human rights? What do you mean by human rights? Human rights. So I'll be rotating it from the guest side. And I has already built out the boys. So from the guest, human rights. Yeah, so I should just mention it. Yes, who is the Messiah from the guest side? Stand on a blessing. Try, just try. I know you can do it. You have defined it already now. Let's clap for it, please. So we are still going to continue from where we stopped yesterday. We are still on human rights, fundamental human rights. Fundamental human rights. So there are some areas we were unable to touch yesterday. So and all those areas will be discussed today. Still on the fundamental human rights. So for those of us that were not around yesterday, this is a great opportunity for us to meet up with those that were around yesterday. Now, fundamental human rights. Meaning, fundamental human rights are those rights.
Yes.
No, sorry, it's okay like this. Fundamental human rights are those rights considered basic for the realization of an individual's full human nature. Hello? That means the privileges enjoyed by the citizens of a nation. That is what we mean by fundamental human rights. Once you are a citizen of a particular country, there are some privileges that you need to be enjoying as a citizen of that country. For instance now, as a Nigerian, you have some freedoms which individual needs to enjoy as a citizen of Nigeria. There are some freedom, there are some things that we can do because we are citizens of Nigeria. So the meaning once again, fundamental human rights are those rights They are those rights considered basic for the realization of an individual's full human nature. So there are some things that we are entitled to. There are some things that we can do freely without being scared by anybody or without facing molestation from anybody. So just because we are citizens of that country. These rights refer to those freedoms which an individual enjoy. The freedom you and I, hello, please concentrate. Just concentrate, please. The rights, these rights refer to those freedoms which an individual enjoy being a citizen of a nation. That is another definition. The right of citizens can be defined as those privileges. I've said this before. Can be defined as those privileges enjoyed by citizens of a nation. There are some things that we can enjoy. There's some freedom that we can be given. Although we have limitations to all these freedom that we are talking about, but at least for the fact that we are citizens of Nigeria, there are some privileges that we need to enjoy as citizens of Nigeria. Do we understand? Do we have any question on this before we move on to the next slide? Any question, please, before we go to the next slide? Now, can I share the slide? For those that are just joining us, please just sit down quietly, please. Once again, the fundamental human rights are those rights considered basic. The rights we considered basic for the realization of an individual's human nature. These rights refer to those freedoms which an individual enjoys being a citizen of a nation. And the right of citizens can be defined as those privileges enjoyed by citizens of a nation. So at least I'm having 3 definitions here. During the exam period, you can pick any one of your choice. Is that understood? Now, let's move on to the next slide. For those that are just joining us, just continue from this place. So you update the remaining one later. Examples of fundamental human rights are as follows. Right to life or right to live. Who can explain this? This first point. You know, I said it yesterday that class participation is part of what we are going to add to your examination scores. So the more you are active in class, the more your marks will be increasing. Yes, right to life or right to live. Yes. Anybody? Who can explain this? I've explained some of this yesterday. Yeah, Ara, thank you very much. Right to live. Thank you very much. You're having 5 marks already. 5 marks for Araunua. I need a just 5 marks. Thank you very much. Then the second one. Where's that jotter? Let me see there. Somebody's having a jotter there. The next one, right to freedom from torture, inhuman or degrading punishment. Right to freedom from torture, inhuman or degrading punishment. Yes, allow. I can't hear you. To be free. Thank you. Any other person? Yes, you have point. 5 marks. Yes, you have point. That's 5 marks. Thank you. Yes, another person. Thank you. Allow to is having 5 marks already. Then number 3. Right to freedom of movement. I want it to be a kind of a rotational form so that it will be only boys that are answering my question. Aliyah, right? Thank you. Then you can move from one place to another. You can move from one place to another. Thank you. Aliyah is equally having 5 marks for that beautiful point. Then number 4, right to freedom from slavery and forced labor and from unlawful imprisonment.
Just one.
It's only one person that I have. Let me see. Okay, 4. 4. So let me quickly attend to those that are online. Someone is raising his hand here. Now, number 4, right to freedom from slavery and forced labor. Yes. Who can explain this? Freedom from slavery and forced labor and from unlawful imprisonment. Boys, won't you explain this? That number 4, right to freedom from slavery and forced labor. Won't you? Any idea? Okay. Thank you. So, Wonti Yubre is equally having 5 marks. Then number 5, right to freedom of shelter and education. Right to freedom of shelter and education. Eniola? Right to be educated. That means it is mandatory, at least for individual or every citizen of this country to at least be educated, even if it is going to be first school living. Just have to go to school. Is that understood? So, and that of the shelter, I think you must have a home. For instance, are you listening? You must have a home, at least, for protection's sake. The right to freedom from discrimination on the grounds of gender, race, or tribe. I need boys to answer this. What? Right to freedom, you were raising your hand the other day. Right to freedom from discrimination on the grounds of gender, race, or tribe. It's what? Yes, I'm listening. Thank you. 5 marks. You are having your full mark. You know, in those days, our forefathers believed that women are not to be educated, yes or no? So they believe that no matter the level of education of women, she will still do what? Who can complete that statement? She will end up in the kitchen. So that was in those days. That was their own ideology. But this time round, it's women are now. So what a man can do now, a woman can do better. Yes or no? So kudos to the. So what a man can do now, a woman can do better. So we have. Hello, one else. We have some women in this society that are holding important public offices. Yes or no? So who can mention some of them? Women, I'm at your side now. Who can mention some of them? We have some women in this society that are holding important posts and they are performing wonderfully. To back up my point, yes, allow, you want to mention one of them? What? Yes, any other person? Yes. Shabuari. She's a woman. Yes. Yes. So we have a former Minister of Finance, Professor Okonjo-Iweala. So as you can see now, and late Dora Akuyili, you can see, and most of them performed wonderfully. That is to buttress my point that what a man can do, a woman can do better. So irrespective of our gender, we shouldn't discriminate. So everybody, the freedom given to a male child should equally be given to a female child. That is what is stipulated in our constitution. Is that understood? So whether you are Yoruba, you are Hausa, you are Igbo, we are all Nigerians. So we don't have superiority over one another. Are you listening to me now? So that is the full explanation on that aspect. Right to freedom from discrimination. We are not to discriminate. As a Yoruba man, I can't say Yoruba is more superior or that we are the best. No. So we are all equal as far as the Nigerian constitution is concerned. We are all equal. So equality before the law. Is that understood? Are we together? Eniola, are we together? Now, number 7, right to fair and equal hearing. Yes, from the boys. Some people have not answered my question. They have their own. You have your own. Some people have not answered my question. Yes, right to fair and equal hearing. Abrazad, you've answered my question. So explain that. Fair hearing, yes, to the best of your knowledge, just try. Okay, you try. I will give you 3 marks. Taiwo. Hold on, listen. So we have equal right. Now let me give you, want to try again? Okay, thank you, Ara. So I give you 3 marks, Taiwo, 3 marks. Let's clap for him. That means before someone is likely found guilty for any offense, at the court of law, the judge will listen to your own explanation as well. So that is having a lawyer to defend you and If after the end of the whole investigation, that person is later found guilty, so that is when they can then punish him or her. Right to private and family life. Number 8. Right to private and family life. Yes, let me go together. Side that. Right to private and family life. Private and family life. Number 8. Right to private and family life. Having privacy. Thank you. Any other person? Having privacy, so you have that freedom. So you have that freedom, and thank you very much. You have your full mark, 5 marks. Then number 9, right to dignity of the human person. Right to dignity of the human person. Boys, over to you. Right to dignity of the human person. You want to try? Why do you want to have all my marks? Yes? Thank you very much. Another 5 marks. You're having 10 marks now. So Fuhad, let's clap for him. Right to freedom of expression and the press, thought, conscience, and religion. Whoever is going to explain this? Expression, press, thought, conscience, and religion. Oh, Aguru. Okay. You have 3 marks. You are raising your hand the other time. Yes. Yes, I'm listening. Thank you. You equally try. You have 3 marks. Yes. I'm listening. Go on. You are raising your hand the other time. Now, number what? Want to answer anyone? Okay, let me hear you. Adeku. Right to vote and to be voted for, and that is called what? Franchise. Thank you very much. So all these are examples of fundamental human rights. Do we have any question? Your mark, 3 marks. 3 marks. 3 marks. So I will add up all the marks after the class. Is that understood? I know. Any question before we proceed to the next slide? Any question? Now, let's continue. We have seen one examples of fundamental human rights. All these rights that we have mentioned earlier, we now categorize them into the following areas. Nigerian citizens are entitled to enjoy 3 main types of rights These include the civil rights, the social and economic rights, the political rights. Oh, sorry. Those that are at home, somebody is trying to ask questions. Let me quickly attend to it. Now, civil rights. A, freedom of movement and action. We have explained this before. It means you are free to, you are free to, let me quickly check if someone raised hand before. Okay, no one for now. So we have the right to move from one place to another. Aliyah, you are still pressing phone. Why are you on? Freedom of movement and action. So that means we have the freedom to move from one place to another as far as you are a citizen of Nigeria. The freedom of expression and speech, at least to say your mind, you have that freedom to say your mind. The freedom of religion, nobody can impose a particular religion on us as citizens. You have the right to choose or to pick any religion of our choice. The right to property and justice, to home property, anywhere in Nigeria, the freedom of conscience and thoughts. That is on civil rights, social and economic rights. Aliyah, please concentrate. Aliyah, concentrate, please. The right to life, security, and privacy. So we have that right to live, like in Nigerian, for us to be protected by the government and to have our own privacy. Freedom from fear and ignorance. We have that one too under social and economic rights. The right to peaceful assembling and association means you can belong to any association of your choice. So far, that association is a legalized association. The right to some measure of economic well-being and a good standard of living. So all these are under the social and economic rights. The political rights, right to vote and to be voted for, which is equally known as a franchise. Freedom from discrimination, whether you are a male or female, we all have equal rights. As I said earlier on that what a man can do, a woman can do better. Access to public office in the political community. All these are under political rights. For those that are at home, if you have any question, you can signify by raising your hand. And for those that are here present, any question before we change the slide? Please go through it very well. If you have any question, let me know. Yeah, Zainab. What? Okay. Do you have any question before I change the slide? What? I can't hear you. So please go through it because we are having some questions to answer at the end of the whole lesson. And you may not have the opportunity of checking your note before you be allowed to answer that question. I think we can proceed to the next slide now. So ask question now. Do you have any question before we? Excuse me. Other examples are as follows once again: the civil rights, you have freedom of movement and action, freedom of expression and speech, freedom of religion, the right to property and justice, the freedom of conscience and thought. Under social and economic rights, we have right to life, security and privacy. We have a freedom from fear and ignorance, the right to peaceful assembly and association, the right to some measure of economic well-being and a good standard of living. Under political rights, right to vote and to be voted for, that is a franchise, freedom from discrimination, then access to public office in the political community. Now, next slide. Human rights abuse. Don't worry, you update that later. Just, if that's understood, you update it later. Human rights abuse. What do we mean by this statement or human rights abuse? Happens when people are prevented from exercising their rights. I think you can get that explanation. Human rights abuse happens when people are prevented from exercising their right. When you are prevented from exercising your right, we see it as being abused. That means your fundamental human right has been abused. For example, when an individual is arrested from expressing his or her opinion, which government does not like, the individual's right to free speech is abused. Let me give you a case study. For instance now, as we can see, mostly all institutions are not working perfectly in Nigeria. And you now come out, you want to use a particular freedom given as a citizen, as a citizen of this country, that at least freedom of expression. You now come out to express your feeling that our present government is not doing the right thing. Look at our rules are bad. Look at, we don't have we always have a power failure. So you are now expressing your feelings or your dissatisfactions towards the performance of the present government, for example. And at the end of the day, you are now arrested. So we see it as human rights abuse. Because we are in the democratic period, democracy, which is known to be what? Yes? Which is known to be what? I need your response there. Government of the people, by the people and for the people. So that means people are the one who chose their leaders. So we elected them in. So, and they have to at least satisfy all our needs. if not all, at least to some higher percentage. So if you now come out to express your feelings, and that person is now arrested or later arrested, so that means the fundamental human right has been abused. Human rights abuse happens when people are prevented from exercising their rights. For example, when an individual is arrested from expressing his or her opinion, which government does not like, the individual's right to free speech is abused. Any child of school age who is not sent to school has had his or her right to education abuse. We have some young boys and girls out there hawking cold pure water, tuturi, cold pure water, and they're supposed to be in school. Are you listening to me now? So their fundamental human right to education has been abused during the era of Governor Fashola. I think he made a pronouncement in that period that if any child is hawking on the street, they will trace that child to his or her home and arrest the parents. So the parents will now come and explain in the court of law, why have you abused the right to your children's education when other children are in school already, and your own child is hawking? At youthful age, at this your age, it is the responsibility of the parent to provide for the children, not the children providing for the parent at this age. Are you listening to me now? That is why it is in this constitution that at least every child must be educated. So if a particular child is supposed to be in school and he or she is later found on the street hawking, so that means his or her right to education has been abused. They're supposed to call the parents to question them, like why? I'm not saying that children should not work for their parents, but that should be after school hours. Probably after the closing time, then you can then, as you know that fingers are not equal. We have some families that to survive, they have to sell, they have to hawk, but it shouldn't be during the school hours. Is that understood? So it shouldn't be during the school hours. After school, such child can still assist the parent by going out or by assisting them to sell some of their products. But it shouldn't be when he or she is expected to be in school. If a person is prevented from joining a religious group of his or her choice, or they are compelled to join a group against their will, the person's right to freedom of worship is abused. Is that understood? Do you understand that explanation? If a person is prevented from joining a religious group of his or her choice, or he or she is being compelled to join a group against his or her will, the person's right to freedom of worship is abused. As a citizen, we have the right to belong to any religion of our choice, being Christianity, Islam, or any other one. You have that freedom. You have that freedom, and nobody can compare you that why must you be a Muslim? Why must you be a Christian? No, it is not like that as far as the Constitution is concerned. Human rights are also abused when people are detained for a long time without trial This one always happen when police arrested somebody. At least within 24 hours, that person has to be charged to court. But in Nigeria now, they can still detain a particular person for the next 1 month without trial. No. So the fundamental human right of that person has been abused. If such thing should happen. Do we have any question as far as this is concerned? Any question, please? Now, human rights, abuse happens, please concentrate, please. When people are prevented from exercising their right, when they are prevented from exercising their what? Their right. Somebody is raising hand here. Please let me quickly attend to him. Hello, Nasif. Good morning. Nasif, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, I can see that you raised your hand. Any question?
Sir, can you explain? I just joined.
You are just joining the class?
Yeah.
Okay, so pay attention now. I'll quickly go back. So someone is just joining the class. So let me quickly re-explain all that we have done so far. For the benefit of those that are just joining the class. Please, quiet, please. Quiet, please. So we started with fundamental human rights. See, fundamental human rights are those rights considered basic for the realization of an individual's full human nature. These rights refer to those freedoms which an individual enjoy being a citizen of a nation. The right that we enjoy as a citizen of Nigeria is known as fundamental human right. Now, the right of citizens, this right refers to freedoms which an individual enjoy being a citizen of a nation. The right of citizens can be defined as those privileges enjoyed being a citizen of a nation. Some people are equally raising hands here. Let me quickly attend to them. Hello, Shubi, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
How are you? I'm listening to your question. Hello.
Good morning.
I'm listening your question.
Yeah. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I'm fine, sir. So I wanted to ask that you said that if a person is prevented from joining a
I hear you.
religious group.
No,
Good morning, sir.
there is a network problem on your side over there. I can't hear you. You know what? You can chat me and I will respond to your question.
Sir,
So fundamental human rights are those rights considered basic for the realization of an individual's full human nature. So the rights of citizens can be defined as those privileges enjoyed by citizens. Then the next slide, we discuss about the examples of fundamental human rights: right to life or right to live, right to freedom from torture, inhuman or degrading punishment, right to freedom of movement, right to freedom from slavery and forced labor and from unlawful imprisonment, right to freedom of shelter and education, right to freedom from discrimination on the grounds of gender, race, or tribe, right to fair and equal hearing, right to private and family life, right to dignity of the human person, right to freedom of expression and the press, thought, conscience, and religion, right to vote and to be voted for, which is equally known as franchise. And all these examples of fundamental human rights have been categorized into the following areas: the civil rights, which is not freedom of, under civil rights, we have freedom of movement and action, we have freedom of expression and speech, we have freedom of religion, the right to property and justice, then freedom of conscience and thought. Under social and economic rights, please attention please, the right to life, security and privacy, freedom from fear and ignorance, the right to peaceful assembly and association, the right to some measure of economic well-being, and a good standard of living. Under political rights, we have the following: right to vote and to be voted for, which is known as franchise, right to freedom from discrimination, and the last one, access to public office in the political community. Then, human rights abuse. Human rights abuse happens when people are prevented from exercising their right. When people are prevented from exercising their right, for example, when an individual is arrested from expressing his or her opinion, which government does not like, the individual's right to free speech is abused. Any child of school age who is not sent to school has had his or her right to education abused. If a person is prevented from joining a religious group of their choice, or they are compelled to join a group against their will, the person's right to freedom of worship is abused. Human rights are also abused when people are detained for a long time without trial. I think that was where we stopped the other time, right? Now, next slide. Let's take a look at this picture. What is happening here? Look at this child. Is this one proper? What is poverty? Thank you. It's poverty. Can you see a small boy that has turned to a toddler? Hello, are we together? Hello. Hey, Saida, please, attention, please. You can see that small. What? I can't hear you. What? Before the picture. The first picture. He is being abused by the police officer. What? At least before, what the police officer ought to have done is to arrest him, not to be dragging him like this. What? Please, one after the other, please. What? So what he ought to have done is to arrest him, and after he has been found guilty in the court of law. What is the only place where one can be found guilty and punished. Not the way police officer is dragging, you can see. They are meant to arrest him, not to be doing all this. All these forms are human rights abuse. Forms of abuse. There are various forms of abuse. Human rights abuse, we have drug abuse, child abuse or child labor, sexual abuse or harassment, then drug trafficking or human trafficking. Just sit down quietly, please. As you can see, the classroom is in order today. Just sit down quietly without discussing with anybody. Aliyah, please. The various forms of human rights abuse, forms of abuse rather, we have human rights abuse, drug abuse, child abuse or child labor, sexual abuse or harassment, sexual trafficking, also have drug trafficking, then human trafficking. What is it now? Just 5 points. Effect of abuse on individual and society. You can see we have 10 minutes left. What? What? This we are supposed to stop by 9:20. What? Effect just listen to me. Effect of abuse on individual and society. Effect of abuse on individual and society. Effect of abuse on individual and society. Taiwo. Below are some effect of abuse on individual and society. Roman figure 1. A child with a history of maltreatment, such as physical abuse, psychological neglect, and sexual abuse. Such kind of child is at risk of developing severe psychiatric problems. Do you understand that first statement? A child with a history of maltreatment, such as physical abuse. Who can explain that? Physical abuse. What? Maybe always being beaten mercilessly. Thank you, Reniola. Psychological neglect. What? Louder now. My hand. That one, not thinking of the child. Sexual abuse. Rape, for instance. So such child is at risk of developing severe psychiatric problems. So that's a good point there. It's one of the effects. Then number 2, drug trafficking destroys the youth in the society because it destroys them from pursuing genuine and useful careers, since they can make easy money from drug trafficking. So that one is another effect on individual and on society as a whole. Citizens of a nation. Hello? Citizens of a nation associated with drug abuse are not respected in the other countries. That is, if citizens of a particular country, they are all into drug abuse. So such citizens or such country or that country won't be respected in other countries. Excessive smoking of cigarettes has been associated with lung cancer. Excessive smoking of cigarettes, those who do smoke cigarettes, so at the end of the day, you will see them having, look at me, you see them having lung cancer. Number 5, they often have poor relationships with peers and the opposite sex. So they won't know how to relate well in the society. Those are the effect of abuse on individual and society at large. Let me quickly check those that are at home. Probably they have 1 or 2 questions before we change the slide. Please concentrate. Double, concentrate. Nassif, concentrate. If you have any question, you can raise your hand. Yes, any question? For those that are here presently, any question? Those that are at home are not having any question. Any question? Any question? Now I think we can proceed to the next slide. Once again, for the benefit of those that are just joining us, effect of abuse on individual and society. Below are some effects of abuse on individual and society. A child with a history of maltreatment, such as physical abuse, psychological neglect, and sexual abuse, is at risk of developing severe psychiatric problems. Number 2, drug trafficking destroys the youth of a society because it distracts them from pursuing genuine and useful careers, since they can make easy money from drug trafficking. Number 3, citizens of a nation associated with drug abuse are not respected and in the other countries. Number 4, excessive smoking of cigarettes have been associated with lung cancer. Number 5, they often have poor relationships with peers and the opposite sex. Class activity. Now, quickly do this. I will go run down. For those that are at home, you can quickly send your response in the next 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Your own, you are answering it in your notes right there. Yes, you can write only answer because of time factor. But we have just 3 minutes left to the end of the class. Class activities. The right of citizens can be defined as those dash enjoyed by citizens of a nation. Only answer, please. The right of citizens can be defined as those dash enjoyed by citizens of a nation. Number 2, Mention 3 examples of fundamental human rights. Then number 3, list 5 forms of habits in the next 2 minutes. Yes, that's all. That's what I'm. Hello, Shube, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, yes, I can hear you.
So, sir, I wanted to ask that how many slides are there?
How many?
Slides.
How many slides?
Yes, to see if I screenshot
Don't worry,
everything.
I'm going to send it to you later. You can download it on YouTube after the class.
Okay, sir.
All right,
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Done? Your pens up. Your pens up. So I'm not giving assignment today because you have been given assignment yesterday. So that's why I'm not giving assignment today. So we are going to end the class now.